All right, happy Sunday. I spent years working on analytic systems at Uber and Amazon with enterprise level resources, endless data, massive infrastructure, teams dedicated to every metric you can imagine. But you know what the highest ROI work was? Ignoring most of the data. Now I work with companies doing anywhere from a few million to 100 million in revenue. And here's the thing that no one tells you. Smaller companies actually have the advantage when it comes to analytics. Let me explain. There's this assumption that you need enterprise level resources to build real analytics, that until you can afford a data team or expensive tools, you're stuck with spreadsheets and gut decisions. I get why people think this. If you came up in corporate or worked at a big company, you saw what good looked like, and it had a lot of zeros attached to it. But that's not actually true. The companies we work with now can often move faster and get more value from their data than the big guys. And it's not despite their size, it's because of it. Here's what smaller companies have going for them. First, you're not buried under layers of legacy data. At Amazon, half the work was figuring out what data even existed and whether you could trust it or not. At a $10 million company, you know your systems, you know where the data lives, and you usually know that you can trust it. Second, fewer stakeholders. You don't need 6 meetings to agree on a metric definition. You can just decide. Third, faster feedback loops. You implement something, you see results in weeks, not quarters. The big companies have more data, sure, but more data doesn't mean better decisions. It usually means more bottlenecks and more noise to cut through. So, so how do you actually take advantage of this? You get ruthless about scope. Instead of trying to track everything, you pick the 3 to 5 metrics that directly tie to decisions you're making. Here's a quick exercise we run with every client. 3 questions. 1. What decision are you trying to make more often or more confidently? Maybe it's which sales reps need coaching. Maybe it's where to spend your marketing budget. Get specific. 2. What metric would tell you if that decision is actually working? Not a vanity metric, but something that you'd actually act on. We like to talk about this as input versus output metrics. Output metrics are the sexy ones like revenue or EBITDA, but the input metrics are the things that you actually have control over on a day-to-day basis that eventually impact those output metrics. 3. Who needs to see that metric and how often? If it's the CEO once a month, that's different than a sales manager checking in daily. You answer those 3 questions, you've got the foundation of an analytics strategy. Everything else is just about implementation. So if you're running a company under $100 million and you feel like you're behind on analytics, you're not. You don't need to catch up to the big guys. You need a framework that fits how you actually operate and build a data strategy of your own. Start with those 3 questions, and if you want help building this out for your business, our link's in the description. I'm Nick, we're South Shore Analytics, and we'll see you in the next one.